Hello, everyone. This is Jubilee from Awaiting Arrows. And on my discussion of waiting on the Lord for children today, I want to share something else that, again, I feel anyone could benefit from. Today is just a short exhortation, just something that's been on my mind. And this is even something I've walked through before starting to be cognizant of pursuing children. It has to do with reaching out for healing and just inner healing, comfort, just whatever you feel like you need from God, whatever you've been asking Him for. And it's like this, basically. It's very easy when you are waiting on God for something, when you feel crushed or disappointed, or you're just struggling through something. It's very easy to be doubly upset and doubly disappointed over the resources that you feel like God is not providing for you. It can be very discouraging to be thinking, I am going through this difficult season and I don't even have a godly therapist, or like no one in the church has time for me, or and I'm not saying this about myself. I'm just thinking of things that people could be saying, like I don't have the money to go to a doctor like I need to, or I'm not close enough to my friends, or whatever. And, or like my job doesn't give me enough time to like get, like to have a significant devotional time in the morning or whatever. And God understands that, but as we are seeking Him for different things, the heart of someone that really wants comfort and help and healing from God is going to be willing to ask the Holy Spirit to open their eyes to see what resources He is providing for you and what He is giving you, even if it's not ideal, even if it's not what you would have wanted in this particular moment. Like, oh, I wish I had, it would be really nice to have my best friend closer to me in this season. Okay, well, that could be very painful, but who is around you? Like, who has God provided for you? Maybe you don't have money to see a therapist, but maybe there are books that God is leading you to, or videos that God is leading you to, that where you could be mentored by somebody very, very big and very mature in the faith without actually having to pay to get an appointment with them. Like there's just so much that God gives us in these journeys. And especially in these tough times, we have to have a willingness to be healed. We have to have a willingness to reach out and take whatever healing God is offering and ask Him to just open our eyes to what provision is around here. What have you given me? What have you put within my reach? Instead of just fixating on everything that's outside of your reach. Because there's always going to be something that's not ideal about your situation, but when you open your eyes to see what God has provided, you end up benefiting from things that, like from relationships and resources and experiences that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And you get to pour into others in ways that you wouldn't have thought to otherwise. So God is just so wise and so smart and so worthy, and He's got your back. And I have seen, sure, there's so many things that are not ideal about my situation that I would love, that I feel would make it easier or whatever, but He has poured so much grace and so many resources into my life. And when I choose to look at that, I'm overwhelmed in a good way. Whereas when I choose to look at all the stuff that isn't right, that I can't control, I get overwhelmed in a bad way. So when you are working through some kind of struggle, you really need to preserve your strength, because you're going to need it for the long haul. So focus on being overwhelmed by God's blessings in a good way, by being overwhelmed by what He is doing, not what He isn't.